never sleeps, where fortunes have been won and lost, and where risk-taking is second nature. Remember when Evel Knievel tried to jump these fountains? Well, today, what at one time appeared to be an unusual marriage is about to take place between a sport and a city, which have been on parallel roads but have now reached their intersection of common success. This is their story. The year was 1905, and the newfangled thing some were calling the horseless carriage was being mass-produced in Detroit. In southern Nevada, the city of Las Vegas was settled, and by the 30s, the desert sand had become a gambling oasis. On the sands of Daytona Beach, Florida, the Bluebird was flying to new land speed heights with Sir Malcolm Campbell. By the late 30s, stock cars were racing on the beach, but a group of brave men were about to gamble on a new organization. NASCAR raced into the 50s as Las Vegas became the entertainment capital of the world.
Oh, the blackjack and poker and the roulette wheel. A fortune won and lost on every deal. Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas!
Tracks like Daytona and Darlington were capturing the attention of sports writers who were talking about drivers like Turner, Roberts, Weatherly, Jarrett, Pearson, and the king, Richard Petty. And with royalty came palaces, magnificent speed palaces, and fortunes to be found.
Bill Elliott has won an additional $1 million in 1985.
Make contact! Oh, and there's contact! Jeff Gordon holds off the challenge.
And Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Daytona 500 in his 20th try.
His share of the record purse was more than $1 million, and the next step was inevitable. In the country's fastest-growing area, Las Vegas, the country's fastest-growing sport, NASCAR, the combination has created the biggest stage show yet for this sleepless city. The NASCAR Winston Cup Las Vegas 400. The excitement is building to a crescendo. 150,000 race fans have gathered here for the first NASCAR Winston Cup race at this facility. We welcome you and our ABC affiliates from coast to coast for the inaugural Las Vegas 400. Jennifer, we left you. We were watching Michael Waltrip. Things got really bad during the commercial break, and he has crashed hard. He is okay, obviously. He's taken off the helmet and is undoing the buckles, but that car is pretty much trashed.
Yes, I don't think there'll be any question but what he'll have to go to a backup car. See, the left front, the left rear is really banged up. And here's what happened. Kenny Irwin in the 28 car comes up behind him, almost like the situation we saw this morning with Bobby. No, looks like the 21 might have got loose when he got up there. I thought that there was contact between them, but
looked like Michael Waltrip when the 28 pulled up behind him. They just took that air off the spoiler and around the car went. I tell you what, that left, of course, with the left rear tire hitting the wall that hard.
Yeah, he was already sideways before the 28 car got up there.
Yeah. Yep. But he backed her hard into the wall, and the left side of that car is junk.
Yeah. Well, I must apologize for my thoughts because I thought the 28 actually touched him just a little bit.
Let's watch that left rear tire. I'm not sure that left rear tire didn't go flat, Ned.
Might have.
It looked like to me that the sidewall, and you see the tire is gone when the car stopped. Although, don't get me wrong, folks, I know he hit the wall and he hit the wall hard, but I swear that close-up looked like the left rear tire was going flat coming off that corner, which would account for the car spinning out.
Yes.
Well, Michael was supposed to start 36 tomorrow, but if the backup car is brought out, and undoubtedly it will be, he will be going to the 43rd and final starting position. The red flag, by the way, has been brought out so that they can get this thing cleaned up.
All right, how important is it to start up front at Vegas? Well, Jeff Bodine and the Phillips team brought their lucky car here. This car sat on the pole at Charlotte and then again in Atlanta. And he had the pole until this car went out. Dale Jarrett, he blistered the racetrack, but they had a problem yesterday in practice. At the last moment, they lost a fuel pickup problem. They changed the motor this morning, and guys, we won't know whether that was a good omen or a bad omen until 400 miles are completed.
There were a number of drivers who came here, tried to qualify, but were unsuccessful. There's the rundown, and Todd Bodine and Gary Bradbury so far have not qualified for the first 3 races of 1998.
And you know those two guys and those teams are just devastated by circumstances so far in 1998.
moments. The pace car in turn number 4 makes the hard left turn and comes to pit road. 107,000 people are here. The race was sold out in less than a day. They're set for racing at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the green flag waves. Dale Jarrett has jumped out into the lead by about a car length and a half over Jeff Bodine as Ward Burton falls into third position, and already we see 2 and sometimes 3 abreast races in these corners.
Track position at this racetrack is going to be critical today, so if you gain a couple of spots early on, you want to take every advantage that you can. These 2 cars running side by side are running a little bit slower than cars would be if they were running in a straight line with that car beside of you. Mark Martin took a look, thought about going 3 wide. You can do it here at this Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The inside line looks like is going to try to pass by Bill Elliott. Elliott stays on the top of the racetrack in that outer line. Meanwhile, there's also a good battle for second position. Ward Burton and Jeff Bodine are fighting for that spot. But Jeff Gordon and Bill Elliott continue to run side by side as we watch from Mark Martin's perspective.
Turn 4. These cars will go down to the very bottom of the racetrack at the start-finish line. Now back up to the outside retaining wall.
Position goes on behind him. Dale Jarrett now leads. Here's the Tabasco Hot Zone telemetry information. We'll see what these cars can achieve on this racetrack.
You saw that Jeff Bodine, Mark Martin's touching the brakes going into turn 3. He was able to get up to about 170 miles per hour. Touching the brakes going in the corner. That's so the car does not push up the racetrack.
Here's Mark Martin trying to challenge Jeff. Oh, and a crash up in turn number 2.
Ricky Craven.
Looks like he did a 360 spinning around. I'm not sure that he hit anything. Will there be a caution? No, there will not. The field comes down and continues under green.
I think I saw some damage to the right side of his car. Well, maybe not. Looks like he's still up to speed. At least he stays on the racetrack.
Ricky Craven was one of those who came into the field on a provisional, started back in the 38th position. And we have a replay. We can see what happens in the middle of your screen. Watch it.
And looks like that Chad Little is going to just touch Ricky Craven in the left rear. And guess what, Bob? That's exactly what happened to Chad Little yesterday when he got touched on the left rear. Only that he backed it in the fence. Craven, tremendous job, does a 360 and continues on.
Here's the onboard lake speed camera. Just have that split second to make the decision. Lake made the right one. It is Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile tri-oval located about 15 miles to the northeast of downtown Las Vegas. A few minutes ago, we had a spin involving Ricky Craven in turn number 2. He is currently in the last position, 43rd, as a result of this.
This is Ricky Rudd. Onboard camera goes in the corner, backs off the gas. Ricky Craven, I'm sorry, I said Ricky Rudd. Right about right there, he gets a little bump. He tries to save it. How about that?
Nice job of keeping it away from the wall. Here's Bill Weber.
Craven's car clearly not as good as it was at the start of the race, but his crew chief Tony Furr says they are okay. They attribute that accident to impatience. This is a 400-mile race. Some guys wanted to win it in the first 10. Well, it has been a season of struggle for Hut Strickland, and that continues on this Sunday. He falls off the lead lap. He had a sudden loss of power. At first, they thought it was ignition. He changed ignition boxes. Most of these cars carry two. That did not help. The speculation now, it is a plug wire that has come off. He is well under power, so Hut Strickland's ride has short-circuited this afternoon.
Indeed, he is circulating in the bottom of the racetrack well off the pace of the other competitors. Ford Tauruses, of course, are new on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit in 1998, and now Jeff Burton in another Taurus goes to the lead, passing Johnny Benson.
Jeff Burton won the first race at the Texas Motor Speedway last April, and here comes Mark Martin on the inside of Rusty Wallace of Jack Roush. Smile. You're running 1, 2, 3.
Plus Tom Hanks, Gloria Estefan, Stevie Wonder, Robin Williams, and Leanne Rimes are just some of the dozens of stars who turn out for a celebration of hope for Christopher Reeve, all tonight on ABC. Here's Jerry Punch.
First of the lead cars to make an entry on the pit road here in lap 56 is Rusty Wallace. Remember, they were going to make a track bar adjustment in the right rear, one round and another half. So round and a half adjustment on the track bar. Earl Barber, the Jackman, runs to the left side of the car. One pump, two pump. And the left side tires are going on. And Dale Earnhardt also on pit road, as is Bobby Labonte. Rusty Wallace down on the way. Bobby Labonte's Interstate Batteries crew changing right sides and now left side tires. And you see Dale Earnhardt move down pit road. Others will come on, including Bill Elliott. He heads to his pits and the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
Pit stops occurring on the 58th lap of the race. Bobby Labonte rolls out. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Jeremy Mayfield is on pit road. His crew cannot hear him on the radio. The engine stalled. They're trying to refire it. Ford tire change. They pull the fender away. Now it's down, and Jeremy's got to refire it back out into the traffic on pit road. Jackaroo.
And Bill, they're going to work on Jeff Gordon's car. They've made a Ford tire change, and they changed the air pressure. They also made a track bar adjustment, Jerry Punch.
Indeed, Bill Elliott getting left side tires, and now Dale Jarrett pulls in right in front of Elliott, the pole fitter. A lot of people complaining about the cars being loose here. As Jarrett comes in, we'll change all four tires. Right side tires going on the car when he's there. Four down, left side tires going in the car number 88. Left side up, left front, left rear on. They're trying to get it completely full of fuel. They wait, get it full of fuel, and he is down and away.
Jared rolling out. Here's Ward Burton also coming out. That's the 17 of Darrell Walter and Ernie Irvin, who's sporting some new colors this weekend in the M&M sponsor car. It's just a one-race deal, normally sponsored by Skittles.
You'll see and here comes our leader. Jeff Burton hits pit road, the Exide Batteries Taurus. And that's what the teams love to see. Get the leader in there, Jerry Punch.
All right, Jeff Burton headed down pit road in the Exide Ford Taurus. The crew waiting to be able to service him. He and teammate Mark Martin were going to pit. Simultaneously, Martin decided to stay out to go ahead and lead. Burton in his pit. Right in front of him, the Cheerios Ford. Another Roush car of Johnny Benson. And they will go to work on the right side of both those machines. They were going to make a slight adjustment on the Johnny Benson car. They thought they may have burned the right rear tire up coming all the way from 16th starting spot. Another Roush car comes on the pit road at 45 miles an hour. Left side tires on for Jeff Burton. He is down and away. Waiting for Johnny Benson's Cheerios car to come off the jacks. He is down and away. But coming toward us would be Mark Martin, the leader. The Valvoline Ford Thunderbird. Actually, it's the Ford Taurus for 1998. He comes on very deliberately at 45 miles an hour. They are going to make an air pressure adjustment in the right rear to try to fix that loose condition with the back of the car slipping and sliding as he entered the corner. They get the jack under the right side of the car. Great pit work on the right side. They stamp over the left. Fuel going in. One pump, two pumps from the jack. Both tires are on. Here goes the lug nuts. Trouble with the left front. Still trouble with the left front. They can't get the wheel on. They can't. 22 seconds, 23 seconds. Oh, that cost them about 4 seconds extra with that problem on the left front.
And Benny, that's what we talked about, how important track position is, and Mark Martin just lost a bunch there.
Well, he lost 6 seconds. These cars will only run about a tenth of a second apart, and he lost 6 seconds. It'll take him to retire 100 miles to make up that difference. Watch as Terry Labonte goes by. Terry Labonte was back in about 20th place, and now he's up there with Mark Martin. It's just Jimmy Spencer.
Jeremy Mayfield started deep in this field. 32nd, he has climbed his way into the top 10. And near spin, now Kenny Irwin spins coming out of turn 4.
Kenny Irwin, the rookie who came from open wheel racing, loops the Haviland Ford coming out of the 4th turn.
And the caution flag is out, and there's no damage to Irwin's car.
And it looks like that Brett Bodine was able to pass the leader, Jeff Burton, at the line to get his lap back.
And the right front tire is flat on the left front tire is flat on Kenny Irwin's car. So he really hopes these tires will step and ride on the inner tire until he can get that back to the pits. Because if they go completely flat, he gets on the rim. He'll tear the car up the underneath of the car as he tries to get back around.
It looks like it may come apart.
That left front is really beating up on that fender.
It sure is. Here's the replay of what happened. He was battling, it looked like, with Bobby Labonte.
Yes, he was. He and Dick Trickle, and Kenny Irwin just loses control, spins around, and Michael Waltrip just barely gets by. Irvin goes up, just barely misses the fence. And then here's what I thought he was going to get hit. Watch as he comes back across the racetrack right in front of Greg Sachs.
Here it is from another perspective. Oh, look how close Michael Waltrip was. And now from Greg Sachs on board camera. Sees the smoke up ahead and just points the car in a direction that he hopes the spinning car isn't. NASCAR Winston Cup Racing will continue next week from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here in Las Vegas, we have another caution. Jeff Green spun, didn't hit anything. Pit stops are occurring. Here's Bill.
Jimmy Spencer, the first of the leaders, was running 4th. This is a 2-tire stop, right sides only. Kyle Petty slides by on his right-hand side as the rest of the field rolls down pit road. Spencer's away to Jack.
Ford Burton comes out of pit road. Right in front of him would be Ricky Rudd. Now Burton is going to change 4 tires this time. They did not like the way they rolled the dice with only 2. Directly behind Burton, the work continues on Jeff Bodine's car, your outside pole sitter. They have lost the handle on the car. Jeff Gordon is out. Earnhardt is out. And Burton is away, Jerry Bunch.
Foot of the Dale Jarrett car. He is out and away. Up 1 pound of air in all 4 tires and a track bar adjustment. Mark Martin had a 4-tire change, and the crew did something very interesting in the Valvoline pits. They put Speedy Dry, a sand-like substance, down on the concrete here in the pits to try to make it easier on the drivetrain when he left pit road. Remember, he has that vibration either in the transmission or somewhere in the drivetrain.
And he also broke the gear in Daytona trying to leave the pits. So they're really concerned about drivetrain problems trying to leave the pits. You know, you got 750 horsepower and you nail that in first gear and let the clutch out. That's a tremendous strain against the transmission, the drive shaft, and the gear and axles. And there is the leader after the pit stops. And folks, guess who's in second?
Jeff Gordon will be shown in 2nd position. And let's watch pit road here as they came out.
Check out Spencer, Gordon, and Earnhardt will come off pit road first. Here comes Ricky Rudd coming off pit road. He will come out in 4th spot. Ted Musgrave will come out 4th. And finally, Dale Jarrett, after a 4-tire change, will come out in 6th spot.
Now, this is why we are under caution. A spin, the 3rd of the race, but still we haven't had a car into the wall.
Outside wall. The outside, need to go.
He's somewhere in there.
Jeff Green looping the car in turn number 2, kicking up a huge amount of smoke, but again, no contact with the wall.
That's 3 times that we've seen a car spin today. Yep. Still, no one has touched the wall. That's great news.
From onboard Jeff Bodine. Didn't get any help, just got up a little high, and the rear end came out from under him. Here's Greg Sachs' perspective.
He never even checked up.
Nope. Stay on the gas. And here's Bobby Labonte making a pit stop. Jerry Punch, is he within your view?
Coming right at us, Bob, at 45 miles an hour. That's the required speed on pit road. The Interstate Batteries crew. Joe Gibbs, the 3-time Super Bowl winner, is the car owner here for this machine. For Bobby Labonte, the younger of the two Labonte brothers. Right side tires, Jeff Chandler. Getting the right side tires. They go to the left side. We are expecting to see Rusty Wallace come in momentarily as we check in with Jackaroo.
Well, Jeff Gordon continues to try and get this car to work properly. The Rainbow Warriors go to work. Now there's an orange handle going on the right-hand side of the car through the rear window. One track bar adjustment, one complete round. They're going to change 4 tires all the way around and take 22 gallons of Union 76 fuel. But that one track bar adjustment is an indication to me, guys, that with a 17.3-second spot, Jerry, that they're gaining on it, but they still got problems.
Rusty Wallace in. They are going to make an air pressure adjustment. A half a pound out in the left rear, up a half a pound in the right rear of the car. Just too tight. Left side tires going on. Already right behind Rusty, a couple of feet. By 15 feet is the Cheerios car. As he is down and away, let's go to Bill Weber.
Kyle Petty is on pit road. He's getting 4 tires. Directly behind him, Jimmy Spencer. They're going to make a track bar adjustment on Spencer's car. His car is loose. He could not find the groove. Now a tire begins to roll away. The Jackman's going to have to go chase it. This will be very costly. Dale Jarrett's on pit road.
Scheduled pit stop for Dale Jarrett. Right side tires, left side tires. They were not going to make any changes whatsoever on the 88 car. Very, very happy with the chassis. 1 can of fuel, 2nd can of fuel. Now he is still on pit road and finally down and away.
Jimmy Spencer is headed out. So is Jeremy Mayfield. Bill Elliott is coming down at
45 miles per hour. See Ted Musgrave and Ricky Rudd leaving. Here's Bill Elliott. Come to you, Jerry Punch.
Indeed, he qualified 4th to start today. Had that rapid engine change an hour before the race started. He brings it to a halt right in the middle of his pit box. The big McDonald's Ford being worked on. They tear away that plastic shield on top of the windshield. Clean the grill. They have already replaced 2 right side tires. Scamper to the left side. Left front off. Left rear off. New tires being placed. The Goodyear Eagles. All lug nuts are down. 17.8 seconds. Great stop for the Elliott crew.
That was a terrific stop for the boys, Joe Garone and his crew.
Mark Martin is the leader of the race, but it looks like he is slowing down and headed for pit road. His teammate Jeff Burton is also on pit road. He was running 2nd until he relinquished that spot to come in. Back to you, Jerry Punch.
Mark Martin will have to make one more stop with about 30 laps to go. That would mean only 1 can of fuel would be necessary if they get it good and full at this stop here. As his teammate Jeff Burton exits pit road, here comes the Valvoline Ford. Remember, Martin incredibly confident this morning. Normally very stoic, but confident that he had the car to beat here today. He finally has come to a halt in his pits. They will clean the windshield, covered in debris. Remember, the sun can become a factor here in the late afternoon at Las Vegas. Left side tires now going on. Jack beneath the car. 1 pump. The car is off the ground. They have 1 can. Now 2 cans of fuel in it. They got the lug nuts tight. He is down. Let's go up to Jackaroo for the Dale Earnhardt stop.
Gary, he said he liked his race car, but now they're going to make a small track bar adjustment. But again, Dale Earnhardt is on pit road. Right side tires going on. It will be a 4-tire stop. Now the Jackman will have to come around, jack up the car, and by the time he gets it up in 1 pump, the tires come off. I've yet to see the track bar adjustment, though, guys, so I've got to think that they've gone without it in 19 seconds even. The Daytona 500 champion is away, and Terry Labonte is in pit road. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And Terry Labonte begins to crawl down pit road, 45 miles per hour. This should be a 4-tire stop for the 5 car. We'll see. Also watch when he leaves this concrete surface along pit road. Very, very slick. They go around to the right side with the tires. They clean the grill and the windshield. Waiting for the lug nuts to tighten. Now they'll come around to the left side, and Terry will have 4 Goodyear Eagles. The fuel pouring in. Again, they scrape the windshield clean, waiting to firm up the lug nuts. Terry Labonte is back in the Las Vegas 400 in 18.2 seconds.
And it looks like that Jeff Bodine is the leader of the race, but now he comes in for his pit stop. So Jeff Bodine will pick up the 5 bonus points for leading a lap, but Jack Aruni's headed toward you.
And Tim Brewer, to use his quote, the crew chief for Jeff Bodine, is, "We just cannot find the right handle on this Phillips Ford Taurus." Jeff Bodine finds the marks, locks it up, the crew goes to work. They too will make changes, first going to the outside. That allows the gas man an unencumbered effort down towards the rear, at least with the first 11 gallons. That's completed. They go now to the left side tires, putting the jack up in one pump. They are going to try and change all 4 tires, and Jeff Bodine, former modified competitor out of Chemung, New York, the leader of 3 Bodine brothers, 2 in this field, is away in 21.3 seconds. Not very fast.
There are celebrities all over the place. We welcome Yasmin Bleeth to the Las Vegas 400, former star of Baywatch, who is enjoying the Las Vegas 400 from the pit area.
And shave her real fast. Anybody wants to, she wants to, I guess. But we have that. Now there's the car that Ernie drove last week in Rockingham. And
all of a sudden,
and
they could distract the other drivers. I get it. I understand.
Wow. Ernie said, "Where'd my car go?"
Well, it's been fun to visit Las Vegas this past weekend, and we look forward to many trips back to this fantastic facility. Well, the number 6 car of Mark Martin has fought his way back to 3rd position, Jerry Punch.
Well, that's the good news, Bob. The bad news is that Mark Martin radioed in a moment ago and told the guys, I think the transmission or rear end may be coming out of this thing. The crew behind pit wall are getting ready. They have a cart here with a new rear end gear here. They've got a transmission here. They've got pan and greases all here ready for that car to come in. Now, Mark Martin radioed just now a moment ago and said, guys, if this thing holds together, we can win this race. But he may not be the only guy having trouble as the 43 car is smoking on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's John Andretti. He's in 18th position, but you can see a trail of smoke that becomes, whoa, I think he just blew up.
Well, he did. That happened going in turn 1. Just at the end of the straightaway, it does that when it reaches peak RPM. But it's not going to last long doing that, that's for sure, because now it's smoking off the corner. And about the time he gets to the end of this, and the NASCAR flagman has black flag named ready for the smoke.
So John will have to come to pit road and have that problem checked out. Completed 2 complete circuits, running very close together.
And Musgrave is there watching this because he is in 7th spot trying to figure out which line is the best. And Earnhardt loose. Oh, man, he almost spun coming off the corner.
Jack Arute has more on Dale Earnhardt.
And Benny, that's a bad break for Dale Earnhardt, because just about 3 laps before he radioed into Larry McReynolds and said, these are the best tires I've had on this race car. And Larry said, show me. Well, he did. But now when you get a little loose like that, you put heat in those tires, and they aren't quite as effective.
John Andretti we saw earlier with the smoke coming out of the car. Bill Weber.
John Andretti's car being loaded up on the STP rig. What happened, John?
Right after the first pit stop, it looked like we started to lose power, and some smoke was coming inside the car, and it burning a piston, I guess. And we kept running, and then finally it started smoking so bad that there was nothing we could do. And NASCAR black flagged us, and when it burns a piston, you can't get them to stop smoking. So load the STP Pontiac up, and I'm really proud of the team because we didn't unload very good, and we had a really strong race car when we were hitting on all 8.
Okay, John Andretti done for the day. Of course, he drives for the king of stock car racing, Richard Petty.
And that becomes the first car officially out of the race. Now, Kenny Wallace is behind the wall, but John is the only car out of the race so far. We have, however, seen one engine expire that has unfortunately knocked Dale Jarrett out of the race. Jerry?
Well, you can almost see the frustration and feel it from Dale Jarrett. Dale, you look like you almost had him covered today.
Well, we had a good race car. Mark was strong there. Then Rusty had a good car, but I was talking to Todd on the radio going down the front stretch about what we were going to do to try to catch Mark to make the adjustment on our last pit stop whenever something late go in the engine.
No warning at all, no vibrations, no fluttering, no nothing?
No, everything had been perfect up to that time, and it wasn't like we were over-revving it. I told the guys early I thought we might have pulled too high a gear, but it was working out for us, and last set of tires that I was on there was just a little bit slippery, and so we were getting another set ready, and I thought that we were going to be in good shape, but just couldn't quite make it today.
Dale Jarrett will head to Atlanta and possibly try to get his bad luck turned around here in 1998. A 34th at Daytona, 7th at Rockingham, and a DNF here.
Well, Jerry, there is the lead change. Now, Jeff Bodine indeed was the leader. However, Mark Martin is about to take the advantage away from him. Jackaroo.
Hey, guys, I'll tell you what Jeff Bodine and his crew chief, Tim Brewer, are doing right now. They're betting on a 15. They're going to take a hit. They're looking for a caution flag. Brewer says he'll keep Bodine out until he literally runs on fumes. He said, if we get a caution, he said it'll be a game of who gets out of the pits first. He said, if we don't get a caution and we come in, he says, watch for gas only. I said, what about tires? He said, read my lips, gas only.
And coming up on 2 laps to go, the white flag will come out next time for Mark Martin.
Tell you what, he's not running as fast down that straightaway as he has been. I don't know what the problem is, but maybe he's slowing down. He can't slow down too much. Jeff Burton is only a second and a half behind him right now.
That is correct. He's gained a half second just in the last lap. But Jack Roush is going to come out a winner in either way, whether Mark wins or whether Jeff wins. Mark is in turn number 4, coming onto the tri-oval and looking at the white flag, indicating a mile and a half left. And he wins the inaugural Las Vegas 400. It'll be his 23rd career win if he can pull it off. Let's see what happens on this final lap.
Jeff Burton gains 2 tenths of a second again that last lap. We can see Jeff Burton behind the 2 lap cars of Schrader and Bobby Hamilton.
Mark Martin goes on to the backstretch. He's halfway around. Burton indeed is coming on strong, but I'm not sure he's got enough to do it. It doesn't look like he will. Mark Martin now in turn number 4. Here he is. The crowd is on its feet cheering for the winner of the inaugural Las Vegas 400, Mark Martin.
Jerry Bunch told us at the very beginning of the show today that Mark Martin was very, very competent.
Mark Martin has his 23rd career win, his 14th on a super speedway, and it is the first win for 4 tourists in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Here's Jerry.
Well, Jack Roush, by our calculations, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 10th. 5 Roush cars in the top 10. What a day.
Well, that's what we set out to try to do. You know, I know that's being awful greedy, but everybody's worked hard. This thing ebbs and flows. You know, you wind up doing better than you should for a while. Normally, it seems like you don't do nearly as well as you should. It all kind of come together. I'm sure we'll pay a price for this in the races that upcome, you know, but I'm really proud for Steve Meal, who was the first guy on here with me, and of course Mark and Buddy Parrott and everybody else is here now. Jimmy Finnick did a great job. The guys did a nice job on pit road, even though they haven't worked together. We thought we had a little bit of a vibration that we worried about. We need to have something to worry about. That kept us busy, and then of course we had a little smoke as we left the pits the last time, which gave me a concern, but we came through it fine. Mark's a race car driver that we all think he is. You know, he showed it again today, and we're just anxious to get on to Atlanta.
What about those final few laps? Jeff Burton and Mark Martin. I saw you run up to Jeff Burton's pit, and what were you telling those guys?
You know, those guys were far enough away from one another that I didn't think they could run into one another. This is my 11th year in Winston Cup racing, the first time that I felt like if something happened to my car, which was in the lead or the second place, I still had a chance. I was feeling a little smug about that toward the end.
Jack, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you, sir.
Jack Roush, 5 of his cars, all 5 of his cars in the top 10. What a day for Roush Racing, Bob.
Indeed, and Mark Martin heads for victory lane for the first time since Dover in September of last year. We'll be there, too, to talk with him when we come back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Vegas, and there is the man of the day at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mark Martin wins the inaugural event. Here's our McDonald's Winner's Circle interview in Jackaroo.
Well, Mark, you always downplay your luck, you downplay your chances, but you told your crew, you told Benny Urtel, you told anybody who wanted to listen, today was going to be your day.
Let me tell you something. God answered my prayers today. We had problems today, and I didn't think we were going to make it. I just didn't think we were going to make it, and you know, I just prayed for, you know, for it to be His will, whatever, and that I would accept it if it broke. But I was going to go out leading, and that's when I stepped on it, went to the front. I got to thank. It's my chance to talk now, and I got to thank Buddy Parrott and Bobby Hudson and everybody at Roush Racing for giving me this opportunity and building this brand new race team. Valvoline, Cummins, Bugle, Bosch, Ford. Goodyear tires worked awesome. Eagle One, our new on board this year, new sponsor on board. These guys are awesome, and we made a change over the winter, and I was afraid people were going to say that I did the wrong thing. We did the right thing, man. We ran awesome last week, and it was even better this week.
Let's talk a little bit about the mindset. When you had that vibration, as mysterious as it was, you know, what do you do as a driver? You just kind of threw caution to the wind and said, I'll accept your will, God, and just put the pedal to the metal.
Well, that's what I had to do with it. You know, I want to move up in the points so bad after leaving Daytona 38th in the points, and I would love to win. It can kill me, you know. I mean, I can let it break me in half, and I just decided, no, this is God's will. If it breaks, that's what he meant for me today. And I want to say, Matt, we won, buddy.
Matt, of course, his son, and Jack Roush giving the congratulations. And Bob, maybe the best way to describe this team right now is what this guy said over the radio to that guy right there after the checker flag. He said, hey, we're going to be tough the rest of the year.
I think that's a given. 4 wins in 1997 and a win already in 98 for Mark Martin. And not only that, he moves into the top 10 in the point standings. Rusty Wallace still has the points lead. He's lengthened it over Dale Earnhardt. Jeremy Mayfield 3rd. Jeff Gordon slips to 6th. Mark Martin up to 7th in the point standings as we head to the Prime Star 500 in Atlanta. We'll be right back.
Continuing the story of Team Roush with 5 finishers in the top 10. Jeff Burton, outstanding effort to finish second.
Well, it was a great run for the Exide Ford. I'm really proud of Buddy Pittert and Bobby Hudson as our general managers and shop foreman, my crew chief Frank Stoddard, and Mark's crew chief Jimmy Finnan. They did a great job. It's a great effort from the Morrisville operation as well as the Liberty operation. I got us in trouble speeding on pit road. That lost us an awful lot of track position. That hurt our chances to win. And then we had a little bit of a bad pit stop that lost us a little bit of track position again. And then it just stayed green from then on. So that little bit of track position that we lost hurt us. I don't know if we're going to beat Mark or not anyway, but after that, we never really got close enough. But it doesn't matter. I'm very proud. That's the kind of run we needed to turn the year around. We've had 2 not-so-good finishes, and that's a great finish for us. So that's what we needed to get this year turned around for the Exide Ford.
Well, you went from 15th to 2nd. This guy beside you, your teammate Johnny Benson, went from 16th to 4th. JB, great run.
It sure was. I mean, I was real excited. Cheerios Taurus ran awesome. Steve Meal and all the guys just been working so hard to try to get us out of that hole at Daytona, and ran great at Rockingham and had a problem. And started out pretty good here. Then I was doing donuts in the grass and having all kinds of trouble. So I tell you, they did a tremendous job.
Johnny Benson coming home 4th place, 5 in the top 10. Team Roush, they're still shaking their heads here in the Winston Cup Garage.